If books could talk, today we're talking too. The road less traveled.
Let me ask you a question. Why do so many people know they're destroying themselves by procrastinating and avoiding things, but still can't stop?
Because they got one thing wrong from the beginning.
What is it?
They thought that happiness was the norm of life, and pain is just an accident.
Isn't it?
It's exactly the opposite. Life is naturally a series of problems and pain. That's the fact, not some anti-motivational talk.
Hold on. Are you saying pain is normal?
Yes. It's the only way for you to grow.
That sounds painful.
If it hurts, it means you're still running away.
Running away from what?
Running away from this truth. The pain of solving problems is much less than the pain of avoiding them. It's just that one happens now, the other happens later.
So people choose the big pain in the future, just to avoid the small pain right now.
Because it's human nature to seek pleasure and avoid pain, you'll dodge the pit in front of you, but you can't see the cliff in the distance.
Then how can we see the cliff in the distance?
That requires a certain ability.
What ability?
Delayed gratification.
That term again. Please speak human language. What exactly does that mean?
When your alarm goes off in the morning, you have two choices: get up or hit snooze. Hitting snooze gives you 5 minutes of comfort right now, but you'll be late. You'll get told off. You'll feel guilty, and you'll be anxious all day. Getting up is 5 minutes of pain right now, but then the whole day feels easy.
So delayed gratification is holding back on immediate comfort in exchange for future ease.
It's not just holding back. It's being able to clearly see the consequences of both choices.
But most people can't see that.
Because their brain is lying to them.
The brain lies to itself.
It's fine, just this once. I'll start tomorrow. Whatever. Sound familiar?
Oh my God. That's totally me.
Everyone's the same. Self-deception is what humans are best at.
Why do we deceive ourselves?
Because admitting the truth is too painful.
What truth?
The life you have right now is the result of every single time you avoided something in the past.
That one hits hard.
The hard-hitting part is coming.
There's more.
The problems you keep avoiding today will come back doubled in the future.
Can you be more specific? What does come back to you doubled mean?
That one truth you don't want to tell your partner today could become a breakup in 6 months. That little habit you refuse to change today could lead to a divorce 3 years later.
Is it really that serious?
Problems never disappear. They only roll like a snowball, getting bigger and bigger.
So why is it that even when we know this is going to happen, we still don't want to face it?
Because facing problems requires taking responsibility, and taking responsibility is one of the most painful things in the world.
Is taking responsibility painful?
It means you have to admit, this is my problem. I have to fix it myself. No one can do it for me.
But some things really are someone else's fault.
It might be someone else's fault, but solving it is your responsibility.
What kind of logic is that?
Your boss might be unfair, but finding a new job is your responsibility. Your parents might have had issues, but healing yourself is your responsibility. Your partner might have cheated first, but whether to leave or stay is your responsibility.
Sounds like I have to take the blame for everything.
It's not about taking the blame. It's about taking back control of your life.
How do you figure?
When you keep complaining, you're saying, it's all their fault. There's nothing I can do.
Yes, and there really isn't anything you can do.
But when you stop complaining and start acting, you're saying, no matter whose fault it is, I'll fix it.
The first one is a victim, and the second is a master of their own life.
Always blame others gives their destiny to others. Stop complains, start acting. This holds their fate in their own hands.
That's too tiring.
That's why most people would rather be a victim their whole life.
That's a bit harsh.
But that's the most common life pattern I've seen.
What pattern?
Blame everything on their family upbringing, blame society, blame luck, and then spending their entire life complaining.
What about people who've really been hurt?
Being hurt is real, but living in that pain for a lifetime is a choice.
Are you saying they choose to heal?
Because healing have its benefits.
What benefit?
You never have to face a real challenge. You always have an excuse to say, I can't do it, because I was hurt.
So that's refusing to grow up.
Yes. True growth, it has to start with letting go of some things.
Let go of what?
Let go of your obsession with the past. Let go of your victim identity. Let go of the illusion of how you think the world should be.
That sounds cruel.
Growth is inherently cruel. Every step of growth is a kind of self-destructs.
Self-destruction?
You have to kill the old you to become the new you.
But what if that old self is the way I've been for decades?
Then you'll just stay in your comfort zone for life.
What's wrong with comfort zone?
It slowly turns into your prison.
Wait a minute. You have a case study about this in your book, right?
But the most classic one is the woman in her 30s who still lived off her parents.
What happened to her?
She came to me for a consultation. She said she was in pain. She wanted to change. But every time I gave advice, she had 100 excuses for why it wouldn't work.
Why?
Because she didn't actually want to change. She just wanted someone to listen to her complain.
She didn't want a solution. She wanted sympathy.
She wanted validation. Validation that it was okay to keep living like that.
A lot of people who say they want to change don't really mean it.
What they want is change without pain. But that doesn't exist.
Change is always painful.
You have to give up everything familiar and step into the unknown. Of course, that's painful.
So how can a common person manage to do this?
Start with the simplest question.
What question?
How much do you love yourself?
What does this have to do with love?
All self-discipline is essentially love.
How so?
You wake up early to work out because you love yourself. You keep learning because you love your future. You face problems because you love your life.
So self-discipline isn't about willpower. It's about love.
Willpower runs out, but love doesn't.
But many people say they love themselves, that they still can't do it.
Because the love they talk about is fake.
So what is real love?
Real love is being willing for the other person's growth to expand yourself.
Expand yourself?
Step out of your comfort zone. Endure the pain. And change yourself.
Wait. Are you talking about loving yourself or loving others?
It's the same thing. The essence of loving yourself and loving others is identical. Both require effort.
But a lot of people say, loving yourself means being nice to yourself.
Being good to yourself and indulging yourself are two totally different things.
What's the difference?
Being good to yourself means suffering a little now. Make your future self more relaxed. Indulging yourself means being comfortable now and letting your future self pay the price.
Back to delayed gratification again?
All wisdom eventually comes back to this. Because this is the starting point of mental maturity.
What is mental maturity?
Being able to clearly see your problems and being willing to pay the price to solve them.
But most people can't do that, right?
That's why most people spend their whole lives in a state of mental infancy.
Infancy.
Hungry, must eat. Tired, must sleep. And happy, they throw a tantrum. When problems arise, they expect others to take responsibility.
Isn't that what we call a man-child or adult baby?
A 30-year-old body with a 3-year-old mind. That's the most common adult I see.
So how do you become mentally mature?
Accept for truths about life.
Which four?
First, life is difficult. Accept it. Second, you are responsible. Stop blame others. Third, face the truth. Stop lying to yourself. Fourth, learn to let go. Not everything is worth keeping.
How do you interpret that last one? Learn to let go.
Your time and energy are limited. You must give up some things to focus on what really matters.
But many people talk about persistence.
You must persist with the right things and let go of the wrong ones. But many people do the opposite.
How do they do the opposite?
Persist with wrong relationships and abandon their own growth. Persist with meaningless job and give up on their real dreams. Persist with their pride and lose money.
How do you judge whether to persist or let go?
Ask yourself one question. Will this thing make me a better person?
If the answer is no,
then it's time to let go.
But letting go is painful.
That's why every step of growth is painful. But you can choose the pain you actively take on now, or the pain that's forced upon you in the future.
I get it. This is what you call the road less traveled.
Yes. Few people take it, not because it's hard. It's because most people aren't willing to admit that this path, facing pain, taking responsibility, and constant growth, is the only way.
Why is it the only way?
Because every path of avoidance eventually brings you back to the starting point, that problem you don't want to face.
Finally, if you could give the audience just one sentence, what would you say?
Your problem won't disappear. They'll just wait for you. Face it early, and it stays small. Avoid it, and it grows claws.
Alright everyone, that's it for today's interview. Remember, life is inherently hard, but running away only makes it harder. The road less traveled is tough, but it leads to freedom. If you also want to stop running away and start growing, please read The Road Less Traveled. Please drop a like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which book you'd like me to interview next.